And this is why I always raise an eyebrow when people say they called me, but I don't have no missed calls in my log. Welcome back to another Paranormal Wednesday Creepy Crew. Please bear with me tonight. I'm not feeling that great. I'm trying to lose my voice. My throat has been bothering me all day. I just couldn't forgive myself if I deprived you of another Paranormal Wednesday story. So there's this guy. He was working night shifts at a juvenile detention center. So one night he shows up for work and his supervisor's like, "What are you doing here?" And he's like, what else would I be doing here, twin? I work here. And the supervisor's like, "But they said you called in a few hours ago saying that you were sick." And even though he's a bit confused, he's like, "Oh, you guys must have mixed me up with somebody else. Wrong message. Nonetheless, I'm here to work and I'm not sick." Me personally, I'd be like, you know what? Actually, you're right. I'm gonna head out. I was delirious. I don't even know why I showed up. Anyways, he thought it was a bit strange, but he continued on as normal. He was working in the control room, which is over the doors, the phones, the cameras, and all that kind of stuff. So he relieves the guard that's on duty and he gets settled in. Once he gets settled in, he looks at the message that says he had called in earlier that night. It said he had called in at 6:50 and said that he had gotten sick while cleaning up after the storm. Apparently there had been a storm the night before that was a little bad, but not bad enough to where he said he would have to go out and clean up anything afterwards. So obviously he's weirded out about the whole thing. So then his supervisor comes into the control room. He said he and his supervisor are actually friends outside of work, so they start talking about what happened and how odd it was. "You sure you didn't call? Because I could have," they said that the folks was saying that you said you were sick. I mean, I don't know. That's what they saying. That's what they saying. So while they're chopping it up about how weird it is, he decides to call his wife at home while the supervisor's still in the room. So he picks up the phone, he dials home, and a man picks up the phone. "Wee woo, is this trapped in the closet? Excuse me. I'm calling my wife who's supposed to be home, and I'm not there. Why is a man answering my phone? I'm finna call. Matter of fact, this is a job for the SWAT team. Not even the FBI. He says the guy in a really raspy voice says, "Hello?" So he's obviously in shock. He looks at the phone trying to make sure he dialed the right number, and he did. And the voice is like, "Hello?" So he like, "Yo, fuck this is." I mean, I don't know, probably not how he said it, but... And the person responds, "This is Taylor. Who is this?" So now he's tripping because his name is Taylor. So now he like, "Fuck, where's Ann?" And dude is like, "Ann's in bed. Who is this?" So he drops his phone, tell the supervisor to clock him out. He's like, "I gotta get home right now, because I know damn well my wife ain't got no man at home in my goddamn bed. That's what I know." As he's running out, he hears his supervisor pick up the phone and say hello, followed by "what the fuck." So he runs to his car and he is speeding home. He busts through the door, ready to call his wife a no good, cheating, two-timing, Jezebel, hussy, whore. I mean, I don't know if that's really what he was thinking, but I could if it was me. So when he gets inside, she's sitting on the couch watching TV and she's confused, like, "Why are you here?" So he like, "Nah, twin, who in here? Because I called this house and a man picked up my phone." And she's like, "Yeah, don't know what you're talking about. Nobody's been here." So after a very long talk with his wife, he goes to call the prison to tell them what's going on, but the phone is dead. So he goes back to work. Shout out to him, because I absolutely was not going back. I wasn't. Matter of fact, it's been a long day. Y'all already thought I was sick anyways. I'm gonna stay at this damn house. But he says when he gets there, the supervisor is being weird and he's like, "How the hell are you doing this?" And so obviously he's like, "Doing what?" The supervisor says that whenever he left, he picked up the phone and the person on the other line sounded like him. He said it freaked him out and he hung up the phone. See, I don't know. I feel like I would have been asked questions. So who is this? Taylor who? What's your last name? What year were you born? What's your mother's maiden name? What was the name of your first pet? Some security questions or something, because I need to know. Supervisor says a minute later, he could see him pulling out of the parking lot, but he also had called back from home being like, "What the fuck is going on?" He said that he was really upset over the phone and he's like, "I told y'all I was sick and I don't feel like playing these games." Immediately, this is not a goddamn game. You was just standing right here in front of me. I just watched you walk to your car. Now you telling me you're in bed. I don't know if you're the imposter or if he's the imposter, but somebody's a damn imposter and I'm gonna figure it out. So after convincing the supervisor that he had no idea what was going on, they just went back to work. He later finds out that the phone line for his area had been knocked out the night before by the storm. He says it's the strangest thing that has ever happened to him. That's creepy. Let me know what y'all think happened. And y'all stay safe out there.
Story time on how I just caught this man cheating. I just got in my Uber. I'm leaving this man's house. I'm sorry, Uber driver, you gotta hear this, okay? So
yeah, don't worry about it. No problem.
So I was at this man's house, right? And I've been seeing him for like 2 months now, right? But I went to his house today and something told me not to mess with him sexually, okay? And so I did it. And you know what happened? God revealed the three. Okay, so why the hell did this man get a call while we're in the car on the way from the beach? He get a call and it says a number. And so I take that number and I put it in Cash App, y'all. I'm messy. So I put it in Cash App. Why the girl name pop up immediately? So I go on Facebook, Instagram, I mean all of it. And I find the girl's account. I text the girl, y'all. I text the girl. I blow the girl up. I blow the girl number up because I memorized the number in the back of my head. Like, I memorized the number. You talking about right? And then, so why the hell did I call the girl? No, she finally calls me back. She was not answering for like a whole hour. She finally calls me back. She's like, hey girl, I'm sorry we had to meet like this. And I'm not being messy. I'm not putting nobody's names. This is just awareness, like how slick these men think they are. So then he's in the room and he's acting like he doesn't hear anything and nothing's wrong. And so I go to him and I'm like, who's this? What's this girl? He's just so avoidant, y'all. He starts making a meal. He's so damn nervous. He starts cooking food. This nigga doesn't never cook.
Oh, wow.
He never cooks. So he start cooking his food, y'all. Then I go in the kitchen. I'm like, you really want to play with me while I'm in your house? And I know your address and you want to play in my face? Okay, cool, Poppy. You weren't even the only one, but it was just like, come on now. Like, you got to put your phone on D&D just like I got to put mine on D&D, you know? So then I call the girl, whatever. He's still acting like he doesn't know what I'm talking about. Like, whose number is that? Blase. So I call the girl. She's so sweet. Like, I felt so bad. She did not want to go through that, but she had other niggas too. So it was like we weren't fucked up about it. But it was just like, we caught your ass. Then y'all, I swear to God, he comes in while I'm on the phone with the girl. He's like, y'all are so weird. Y'all are teaming up against me. We're weird. You're the weird one. Like, what the heck? So yeah,
you
that's
cheating with her and
yes.
then you and probably how many?
Yes. And so he told me I'm the weird one. Oh no, pero papi, no.
You got him.
No.
You're
So yeah, I called my Uber and yeah, shout out to the Uber y'all, cause he was quick with it. But yeah, on the way home I go on to the next. But y'all gotta be careful, y'all, cause they will have you in your bed and then they got somebody else calling the phone.
Yep.
Chill.
Story time on how my ex-boyfriend cheated on me with my boy best friend. I just want to start this off by saying there's no hate to anybody in this story. I'm not judging anybody for their sexuality. That's not my intention here. That's not something I stand for, and I just want to let that be known. But anyways, let's just get right into the story. Basically, my gay best friend, I'm going to call him Clark. We were good friends since 8th grade. I'm being serious when I tell you, like, he was my best friend. Genuinely, like, we were like this. Like, he was my best friend. And my ex, I'm going to call him Jason. We met at a football game at his school in sophomore year. He was a junior, I was a sophomore. We were both 16 though. Because I have an early birthday and then he has a summer birthday. So we're born in the same year. We're just in different grades because my birthday is after the school year starts. And Clark is in my grade too. Anyways, let's just get right into the story. Basically, everything was going good with Jason. I don't really, like, he would come see me. We'd go hang out at his house. We'd hang out at the mall, like, all this stuff. We were just, like, a regular, like, everyday couple. Eventually, after a little bit of dating, we started dating sophomore year, around the beginning of second semester. Around the end of the year, I introduced him to Clark. We had, like, a little, like, group hangout, the three of us. I know people are going to think that's stupid, but, like, from my perspective here, see it from my perspective, I did not know that Jason swung that way, like, in any capacity. My gaydar did not go off at all. And as for Clark, I don't think anybody thinks their friends would do that, you know? But specifically, I did not think that Jason would go for that anyways. So it's like one of those things where it's like, I didn't suspect anything. But yeah, they exchanged socials, whatever. I didn't really mind. I mean, like, you're my friend and you're my boyfriend, so it's like, whatever. After that meeting, things got a little bit weird. Clark would bring up Jason, like, quite a bit. It started slow. It would be like, the first time that he talked about it was like a little bit after we hung out. He's like, wow, like, he's actually like really hot in person. And I thought it was like a friend thing. Like, you know, when you tell your friends like, oh, he's really hot. Like, he was like, yeah, you know, thank you. Like, I backed him. But he just like kept on going on and on and on and on. And it was like all the time. He would ask about him. We'd be hanging out and he'd be like, you think Jason can come? You think Jason can come? You think Jason can come? You think he's free? This lasted for months. I introduced them near the end of sophomore year, as I said before. And this went on from then through the summer, and let's get into the beginning of junior year, when this started like escalating, you know? Jason would post something, and then Clark would be in the comments like, oh my gosh, you're so cute. You know, like how like girls will comment on their friends' posts? That's the type of stuff that he'd be like commenting, like hard eyes and stuff like that. And I didn't take it like weirdly, like, I mean, I talked to Jason about it a little bit. Like, I was like, hey, like, do you think this is weird? Like, should I be, like, concerned? And he's like, no, like, there's nothing, like, he's never been like that with me. I think he's just joking. And so I was like, whatever. You know, I just let it be. I was like, whatever. Anyways, fast forward, like, mid first semester, junior year. I was hanging out with Jason. We were in his house, and we were just like, he was showing me something on his phone. Like, I think it was like an Instagram reel, some shit like that, like something that he thought was funny. And we were looking at something on his phone, and he gets a message from Clark. And Clark was like, what time are we meeting later? Mind you, I wouldn't even have a problem with him hanging out, but it's like, you didn't even tell me. You did not even tell me that you guys were hanging out. Like, I didn't even know that you guys talked, like, over messages like that. And it wasn't even like a DM. It was a message, like a text message. Like, you got his number. Like, that's fine. I'm not even like against that. Like, it's okay. It's fine. But like, why did you not even mention it? And the last time that we like had a conversation about Clark, he made it seem like they never talked at all. Like, they weren't that close. Like, they barely talked. Sometimes they talk like about me, but it wasn't like, it was weird. It was weird. But anyways, that happened. I just kind of like told him, I was like, hey, like, I don't mind you guys hanging out. Like, it's not like, you don't have to keep it from me. I just like, I would want to know. And he's like, I'm not gay. Like, he really like, he got really defensive. He's like, I'm not gay. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's one thing if I'm hanging out with a girl, but I'm hanging out with a guy. And then it got to a point where like, they started hanging out with like Jason's friend group. Like him, Clark, and then his friend group. And I wasn't even invited. And his excuse would be like, oh, like, well, we're just gonna watch a game. And like, I know you're not into that. But then there was like a time they went to like Dave and Buster's. And I'm like, dude, like, I like that. Like, I would like that. I would have fun doing that. Like, I've told you, I love Dave and Buster's. Like, what do you mean, like, you're gonna hang out there and be like, oh, like, I didn't know you'd like it. Like, you know I do. Like, we've been there before. Like, I know that you know that I do. Eventually, things go on. I didn't really want to read too much into it because I was like, he's not gay. So it's like, he was just being shady. To me, in my eyes, I was like, he's just being shady. Like, it's not that he wants him. But anyways, there was a time around like Christmas, we got in this like big argument. And it was not about Clark. It was just about some stupid shit. Like, we were just, I don't know. We got in this argument. And basically, like, I didn't tell anyone about it because it was just like, to me, I was like, it's not that big of a deal. But a few weeks later, like, we reconciled. We were like chill and on good terms within like the week. But like 2-3 weeks later, I'm talking to Clark, and Clark is like bringing up something, and he like mentioned a specific detail about like our argument. Like, I don't remember what it was. It was just like one of those things where it's like, how did you know that? Jason was telling Clark our business. Mind you, like, this is my best friend that I've known for years. And I'm like, I didn't even tell him because it's like, you know, that's not like important. And it's not like I'm saying you can't tell your friends about stuff, but I'm like, this isn't your friend. This is my friend. I know that sounds so like bratty, like, this is mine. But like, seriously, it's like, If you were telling your friends that, that's one thing. But I'm like, why are you telling him? And I want you to understand, like, they did not know each other until I introduced them. And I know that's my choice, whatever. But, like, genuinely, they did not know each other. They didn't go to the same school. They also go to different schools. We all went to different schools. So it's like, you're going out of your way to see each other. Like, I'm going to try to get to the end of the story because I'm running out of time. But things like that nature were going on. And just, like, repeating. And then at the end, there was a time that I was hanging out with Jason. And I did something I'm not very proud of. I checked his phone. I looked through this man's phone. I looked through his messages with Clark. I looked through his Instagram DMs. And I found out how everything kind of went down. Basically, Clark had, like, reached out to him first. And kind of, like, hit on him. And it was, like, soon after they hung out. Like, genuinely. And he was genuinely like, I need to think about it. And then was like, yeah. And so they were setting up these hangouts to meet up. They were not watching no damn games, I'll tell you that. I don't really know all the details of all the stuff that they were doing, but, like, because I don't want to know. I didn't want to know. I don't want to know now. I found out, by the way, about this all, like, around, like, March of junior year. So, March 2025. We had, like, the worst screaming match, like, genuinely. And I was even more, like, upset because it's, like, this is my closest friend. Like, you know that. And you've been doing this, like, literally in my face. I'm like, if you don't like me, like, why didn't you just tell me that? Like, because this had been going on. I told you, I introduced them end of sophomore year. So this had been going on from, like, the summer into the school year into all the way to March. And same thing with Clark too. I wasn't even that surprised. Like, honestly, sadly, I expected it from him. I, like, literally am running out of time right now. I'm really sad. But, yeah. That's basically it. I might make a part 2, but I'm out of time.
Get ready with me while I tell y'all about the time I got caught messing with 2 brothers. Yes, y'all. I was messing with these 2 dudes, and the whole time they were brothers. And the way I found out was crazy. So like I always say, get y'all snacks, because this about to get juicy. Thank ya. So this story takes place last summer. I had just graduated, and I was ready to turn up. But one day I'm scrolling through my Snapchat requests, and I see this fine-ass nigga. And for the sake of this video, we're going to call him Jimmy. Jimmy was tall, light-skinned with dreads, so of course I had to get that. No shade, it was inevitable. So we start talking, and Jimmy is actually very cool. But a couple of days later, I get somebody new on my request, and we're gonna call this person Eddie. And y'all, Eddie was also tall, light-skinned, and tatted. The only difference they had was that Eddie had a low cut and Jimmy had dreads. So I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, like this must be heaven. Our roster is about to be full of tall, tatted, light-skinned shit. But of course, knowing my luck, I was wrong once again. But after a while of us talking, Jimmy actually asked me if I wanted to go on a date. And y'all know me, I'm never gonna turn down a date. It's a free meal, and 9 times out of 10, it's a good time. So he ends up inviting me to this place called Yummy Bowl. And conveniently, a couple days later, Eddie ends up saying that he wants to take me on a date to Red Lobster. Baby, I'm thinking I'm living the dream. 2 of my fine shits asking me on dates back to back. Baby, I'm on that! So my date with Jimmy was on a Thursday, and my date with Eddie was on a Saturday. And to be honest, both of them actually went well. But one thing I noticed was that both of them said they had 2 sisters and 1 brother. I didn't really think much of it. But silly me, I should have. So a little bit of time goes by, and I'm still talking to both of them. Well, one day, Jimmy asked me if I want to come and, low down with him. I tell him that I personally don't partake in those activities, but I'll sit in the car while he does it. So he ends up picking me up, and we're just chilling in his car. While we're in his car, he tells me, hey, my brother is gonna pull up and bring me the stuff. And of course, I'm not thinking nothing of it. It's just like, that's normal. Your brother finna bring you your supplies so you can do your ones. Well, as we're sitting in the car, I see another familiar car pull up. And I hear this boy next to me say, oh yeah, there go my brother. Girl, I started gagging, no shade. So after the car parks, I'm literally just sitting here like, there's no way that this is who I think it is. If this is who I really think it is, my luck is actually horrible, because only I would be put in a situation like this. But what do you know? Guess who got out that motherfucking car? It was fucking Eddie. So once I see Eddie start walking to the car, I literally start shitting bricks, because it's just like, what am I going to say? When Eddie comes up to this car and he sees me in this passenger seat pooched up like, hi, he gonna be lost as fuck, as he should, no shade. So Eddie gets up to the window, and when he sees me, he's like, Cam? What the fuck? What the fuck is you doing here? And I'm just like, hey, hi. So, of course, when Jimmy realizes that I know Eddie, he asking me, like, how do you know him? And before I can even answer, Eddie come in the car. He like, so no, how you know him? So these niggas end up getting into it because Eddie is like, this is my little shit. Why are you in the car with my little shit? Jimmy like, how do you know my little shit? Because this is my little shit. I've been talking to him. Whole time, y'all are my little shit, baby. I've been talking to both of y'all. So while they arguing, Eddie ends up calling Jimmy a bitch. And baby, when he said that, all hell broke loose. Them niggas really got to fighting. Y'all, let's just say that fight did not go in Jimmy's favor. Y'all know I had to stay and watch the fight, but after they got done, I just ended up walking away because I didn't want either of them to take me home. I walked away and called an Uber. And I think the craziest part about this whole story is that after all that, I was still talking to both of them. And they were still going. But yeah, this is the final mug. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Long story short, if you're gonna fuck with two brothers, just don't get caught like I did. I still support it and I still approve. Thank ya.
Time for another Pipsqueak story time. So let's talk about the time my entire elementary school went under investigation because of something a girl posted on Instagram. Elementary school. Extremely heartwarming. Keep in mind, age 10 at most. Like, the full-blown Pipsqueak. Like, I should have been worried about Pokemon cards, but no, I was worried about what was on my phone and if we were all going to get fucking in trouble, which we did. So I want to say this was around 4th to 5th grade. I'm just going to say 5th grade because that is the oldest tier in elementary school, and yeah, that would make the most. But it also might have been 3rd grade. I don't know. I was a badass kid. Besides the point. Now, this is kind of when Instagram, like, just started kind of rolling out, okay? Like, in the beginning of my elementary school career, like, we all had Facebook, okay? We were playing on our phones, like, Facebook. But then all of a sudden, one day, I swear it was New Year's, okay? New Year's of 5th grade or 4th grade, one or the other. Remember, I'm with my friends, okay? By friends, it's, like, my family friends, but, like, also my friends. Anyway, so it was me, this girl, who I'm still friends with to this day. I love her down. That's my girl. Calling her code name is Bella Hadid because she literally is fucking Bella Hadid. It pisses me the fuck off. We were close all by childhood, but like by default, but like also we like got along really good. Okay, so me and Bella Hadid were like the closest, and then in like the group that our family was friends with, it was me, Bella Hadid, and then this other guy. I'm gonna call him Baseball because I'm pretty sure he played baseball. I think he played it in college too. I don't fucking know, but baseball too. Okay, so anyways, it was me, Bella Hadid, and Baseball. And once again, we would have these New Year's parties, and we would flip like whose houses we were having, but mostly it would be at Bella Hadid's house. Like that was the New Year's party. Okay. Long story short, we're all in her base. We're sitting there, and Bella Hadid's talking, and she's like, yeah, like, did you see what, like, blah, blah, blah posted on Instagram? Like, kind of funky-ass word, Instagram. Yeah, that changed my life completely from then and there, because then she pulled me into a back room. She said, baby, let's set up this account for you. Anyway, she starts setting me up an Instagram account, okay? At this point, I was like, I don't even think I'm allowed to have this. Like, I already sneak Facebook, I guess. Anyway, she sets me up an Instagram account, and then I realized almost everyone in my elementary school is on Instagram. Came out illegally. We're not supposed to be on fucking, but we are on Instagram at this point, okay? We are on Instagram. Make my account. I'm all excited. I'm like, shit, like I can post whatever I want. Like, this is my feed. I have the power as a Pip. I feel powerful. Pip motherfucking Squeak, okay? Like the top of the Pipsqueak realm. So I'm like, okay, got an Instagram. Let me start following people. I follow pretty much everybody from my elementary school. Like, nobody got left unfollowed. I did not care about ratios back in the day. Times were so simple. Followed everybody. I said, hey guys, I'm following on the gram. And people start following me back. And I'm like, wait, I like this. Okay, I'm following everyone. I'm having fun. I'm giggling. Anyways, it's the next day back at school, okay? That's where everything started. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, like you made an Instagram. And I'm like, why didn't nobody tell me about an Instagram? Like, we're sitting at lunch and we're talking about Pokemon cards. Y'all didn't tell me about Instagram. Kind of irritated. I was like, Bella Hadid had to tell me, okay? Kind of pissed. But whatever. Now I know a little bit about Instagram, so I'm gonna get down and I'm gonna lock in. Anyway, so this starts the Instagram realm of all the Pipsqueaks on Instagram, posting nonstop. And I followed pretty much everyone from my elementary school, okay? Now with social media, as we know, it starts drama. We should not be in drama at age 10, but we're in fucking drama. So I remember it was one day and I'm on fucking Instagram, just scrolling. All of a sudden, like this is before like you could even post like an Instagram story. Like this was all just like when, but like people would like post like, I don't know, like a highly like filtered, like stupid picture of them at like the park and it would get like 10 likes. And everyone's like, like your face. Like it was the fucking peak. People were locked the fuck in, okay? There was this one girl, I'm gonna call her, what do I call her? I'm gonna call her Grown because she thought she was a grown adult at this time, okay? So her code name is so Grown. I wasn't really like, once again, I had a small elementary school, so everyone knew each other, but like obviously there's some people that like you don't talk to or you're very close with. So Grown, we were never like close, like we were cool by default, and like I probably had conversation with her, but like I've never really spoken to her. But I followed Grown on Instagram, okay? She followed me back, me and Grown, we were Instagram friends, but like in school, like, oh, we weren't sharing pencils, none of that, right? Like erasers were staying with me, not with Grown. I don't know you like that. Anyways, I remember one day I'm like scrolling on like somebody's Instagram, okay? It's like another girl like from my elementary school, and I'm just like scrolling as a Pipsqueak, you know, I'm on my little iPod Touch, you know? And I remember I like go to the comments, okay? And that's where I end up going to the comment section and I look, and basically back in the day with Instagram, like people would have full on like conversations in the comment. I don't even know if you could DM at the time. I think you could DM, but like conversations would literally be in comment section. Like I saw a bunch of like plans being made type of shit. Okay. Anyway, so I'm like on this girl's because she posted like some type of like thing, and like it was like a selfie of her, and she was like, I'm bored, like somebody hang out with me on her main, as you should. Okay. Once again, you're 10 years old, so I don't know if that would be considered a play date, but all right, girl. She posted that. Okay. Anyways, I'm looking, and there's like a bunch of comments. There's like 30. So I'm like, I'm nosy. Okay. All of a sudden, I see Grown comment on it. I'm like, okay, I know Grown. I also know the girl, but I'm like reading the comment, and Grown is pretty pissed. I don't know if it's a thing that she had plans with this girl or what the situation was, but Grown was not having it. To which Grown perceived the comment and said, you stupid idiot, we had plans. At first I'm like, okay, maybe they're joking around. No. She said, this is why you this is why you effing make me so mad and I get mad at you. So use the F word, okay? Yeah. I'm saying that like I've never cussed before, but like she's like, this is why I fucking like hate you. Essentially, okay? Which, so I read that and I'm like, keep in mind my vocab at this point is very much like shut up, like idiot, like stuff like that. I'm like, oh. Right? Like, you don't really, like, cuss like that when you're in 5th grade. So I'm like, oh. But that's not my business. But I'm like, oh, my goodness. And they start going back and forth. The girl's not cussing at her. Like, she's like, I'm sorry. Like, I, like, wanted to see if anybody else wanted to hang out with her. And the girl, like, Grown comments back and calls her a bitch. Oh, shit. Anyway, so they're going at it. I'm like, I don't even think you could screenshot on the iPod at this point. I had no damn clue. But I go text my friends in our little, like, you know, Gmail group chat, whatever the hell. And I'm like, oh, my God. Do you see, like, Grown is like mad, like go to this girl's page, like Grown is cussing. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, like that's really not cool. Anyways, that happens. Okay, next day back at school, everything's fine. I want to say like a week elapses. Okay, a week elapses. And I remember I come to school one day and like the vibe is completely off. Okay, you could just tell something was, people are a little more quiet than normal, people look skittish. I'm like, we got a half day. Why is everyone being so, because I can't shut my flap. So I'm like, hey guys, everyone's like quiet. Okay, like we're in homeroom. I'm confused why everyone's upset. But okay, like a little bit weird. To which then my teacher like comes to the front of the class and she says, so I need to discuss something with you guys. She said, we're going to be talking today about social media because apparently some of you guys have social media. To which she starts explaining. She says, so we have gotten reports through the school that there is somebody in this elementary school class who is using Instagram. I think that's what it's called. She said they are cussing on Instagram. They're cussing, which that is extremely inappropriate. And they've also cussed at people in this class. Oh, so we know who snitched. Anyways, but she basically goes on this whole thing. She was like, so like we will be having an investigation because it is involving people at school and now it's becoming a situation. Like, shit. Okay, whatever. That investigation was one of the most intense things I have ever gone through in my fucking. So I'm like, okay, at first, whatever. I'm not kidding. For about 2 hours, basically the teacher would be teaching and then the principal came to our, the principal, the owner of this house. Yeah, we knew not to fuck with the fucking principal. I was terrified, right? She ends up walking in. I'm like, is she just, because sometimes, you know, the principal would walk in and just like, you know, not watch over the class, but like monitor and like make sure the teacher's doing what they're supposed to be doing. Anyways, so she like walks in. I'm like, okay, like let me like buck up, like, you know, get all my pencils on, start writing again. But I see her, she like walks up to a random person in the class and she's like, can you come out in the hallway with me? Anyways, that proceeded to happen for 2 hours. She would go in the hallway with a student for 10 minutes. And then that student would come back and the student would look fucking terrible. And then she'd bring like the next student in. I'm like, then I'm like sitting there, I'm like, okay, well this got nothing to do with me. Like I saw the page, but I didn't say anything. Next thing you know, it's Dylan. I'm like, okay, that's not a familiar voice yet because it's my principal. I've never spoken to her. She said, can you please come with me? I thought I was damn near getting arrested. I'm over here panting. I'm like, my name's not Dylan. Nope, it's Pipsqueak 48. That is my. And he was going in the hallway and she's like, so, as you know, your teacher went over with you. There's been stuff happening on social media. She said, I've heard from around that you do have an Instagram account. I need to know exactly what you saw and what you have heard about people cussing on Instagram. I start busting out crying. Like, the drama! Like, I'm crying like I was the one, like I was the perp, like I was cussing at people. I just started crying. I'm like, ma'am, like, I don't know what I'm saying, ma'am, but I'm like, I don't know much. Like, I just downloaded Instagram. No, I'm not even supposed to have Instagram. Please don't tell my parents I have Instagram. And then I'm like, yeah, like, I don't really know what's going on. I think I saw, like, a comment section where somebody said, like, the B word, which, like, I don't even know what the B word. Like, I'm scared. I'm confused. Like, I'm sorry. I'm extremely sorry. I don't know what to do. Like, I'm sorry, man. She's like, listen, and she's literally, I'm not kidding. Like, she had a, like, pen and paper, and she's, like, writing down, like, a witness statement. Like, I just don't eat. Anyway, so that all ends up happening, and then we end up going to lunch, and they're still calling people like out of the lunchroom for like second round interview, which I got called for a second round interview. So I got called to the principals, and I walked in there, and there's 2 other pips in there, okay? And I'm like, okay. I follow both these people on Instagram. They're basically like, okay, like, we know you 3 have Instagram, and you're following the person that we pretty sure is cussing on social media. Do you guys, like, have anything you want to say for yourself? Have you participated in this act? I'm looking to the right. I got a couple people crying. I'm like, I basically like buck up, and I'm like, no, like, I've never cussed before. I will never, that's not my, not into that mentally ill stuff, okay? And she's like, End up sitting in there for an hour, and then finally she releases us out back into the pub. And then the girl that was suspected of cussing, she did not come to school for another week. I know her family was strict too, because I ended up becoming close with her like after like that, like later down the road, like in high school. And like her family does not fucking play. Like they are strict as shit. So I know she got reamed. I know she did. But I remember when she came out to school, she stopped posting on Instagram after that. Real fucking. And when she posted again on Instagram in the next 2 years, I never saw another cuss word. And even from becoming friends with her after, she just would not cuss like that. Like she was very, very, very mindful. I think she got traumatized. But yeah, I felt like I was on an episode of Forensic Files, but like Pipsqueak edition. Like, I don't.